spawn in the ocean. Welcome to episode number 1 of Minecraft Generations, my series in which I will be, one by one, moving through each Minecraft update that adds new content, or otherwise makes changes notable enough to worthy of stopping on for challenges. And just each update will have its associated challenges that need to be completed before I will move on to the next one. What a beautiful expanse here. I want to avoid generating too many chunks because, as stated, let's see, the render distance is set to far. It doesn't seem that far though. I feel like these days you can just look out forever. But this is the, I believe, the March 27th version of Infdev. This is the first version of the game in which level saving, as we know it, client-side level saving is fully implemented and possible. So this is where we will start pretty much as early as possible. Now in this version there are some odd bugs. For example, the population code for when you load a level will reload trees and ores upon reloading a level. So this tree is gonna be back the next time we load up. So this should be starting on a super easy note. Mobs do not spawn in this version either. Neither hostile nor passive mobs should be showing up in this version. My apologies for the dog barking. So I guess my objective for this earliest version is to build a base of some kind. I want to build it near that. I don't want to build it on top of that because I'd like to make it accessible. I think I should build it on this shore. Like this area right here. This will all later be house. And it's nice that I will be building near this big body of water because sometime in early alpha we're going to get boats. And I plan on sailing out. There are versions of early alpha that we will be skipping because they only add features that are relevant to winter mode worlds, which of course do not exist yet in Infdev. So they are not relevant to us. But they will be, eventually, when we start to get biomes and stuff in beta, I believe. And yeah. I think we're gonna have to level some stuff down, which is a pain in the ass, but, it's doable. We might have some rooms over this, just overhanging this. And we don't have to worry about, building everything before we start updating, because part of the idea is that we're going to be expanding rooms as we go. And perhaps not every challenge will be directly related to the update in question. That will be the main, that's like the main point of this series, but I might even be like, okay, I'm going to build an observation deck in some more rooms, that kind of thing, Because I do want to emphasize building in this series, because if there's one thing I really neglect when I play Minecraft, it's building. Especially in newer versions of this game. Because there's so many distractions. I'm sorry, I got cider on me. I know it's a pet peeve for a lot of people when someone is recording and they got food or drink on them. Hopefully that won't be an issue for you. But it is autumn now. I'm ecstatic I'm in a sweater here at my computer, and I'm ecstatic to finally feel cold sometimes. Something about the season. My most basic trait. We went to Trader Joe's and just got a bunch of Harvest Spice stuff and cider. It's my favorite time of year, if not like mid to late winter. I like the cold. I prefer the cold. I prefer the dark. Speaking of dark, where is the sun? It might already be on its way down. We should look for some coal. I think that's our second order of business after wood. Again, we don't need to be worried about mobs. And things should be easy as pie in this version, so I'm just using it to get my bearings down. This might be a boring video. You know, early Minecraft gameplay, especially if there's not going to be any danger, really, is not the most exciting thing in the world to watch. You get to look at these beautiful, ancient Minecraft landscapes with me, though. So, we're discovering all this for the first time. I was playing on a server in release version 1.2.5 recently. And there was this extreme hills biome that we were exploring, and it was the first time in a while that I felt that excited about Minecraft terrain. Ouch. So, you know, this game can make you even a bit teary if it gives you pretty enough, or I suppose I should speak for myself, huh? There's some easy-to-access coal. If this were not a peaceful world, if hostiles were a concern, then this is where I would make my first little night shelter. You know, old, like, Paul Soares Jr. style is who I think of first. I wonder if in this version you can store stuff in crafting grids. Nope. I think that might just be a server-side bug in some versions of alpha, because actually my friend and I and her girlfriend at one point were playing in alpha 1.0.15 or something like that, the earliest version where you can host a server. And we were planning on doing a similar, like, evolution-style series. There was a little bit of controversy, I suppose, over, like, how we were going to determine when to advance versions. I wanted to base it on achievements, the way I'm doing in this series now. But I suppose she wanted to base it on time or number of sessions and stuff like that. And we haven't played that world in a while, which sucks, because I built some stuff there that's like pretty, like, sentimental to me. At this point, you know, we made a couple houses. She actually made like a railway system, like a very basic one. This is a lot of iron. Wow. And at the, like, close to the world spawn, I made a whole, like, signboard, just a big, you know, wall of signs with Shel Silverstein's poem "Come In" written on them. It's just a good way to greet a server, you know. So it's a shame that we haven't played there in a while, but it's alright, you know. She would have to move the old world file onto her new computer. It does still exist, but I'm not stressed about it. This has been a very successful little first venture into mining now, hasn't it? But yeah, in this most basic version, let's determine what we need. I want to start my home. And that home is going to have... Can you make chests yet? I'm like 90% sure. I think chests might be bugged in this version. I think chests don't save properly. so I'm not going to be putting anything in them. But, yeah, there were chests in Infdev. That's right, duh. But a storeroom in my basement, a couple floors, an observation tower, and a farm. And those are the first things we were going to be building. I will probably edit and cut this episode down, like starting soon, because it's probably just not going to be particularly exciting to just watch me mine a whole lot. I'm no entertainer. I'm not a YouTuber. I don't really know what I'm doing. But I am trying my best to provide educational and entertaining and insightful commentary as best I can. Of course, these used to have stone texture on top. And provide some light, so we can look at this landscape in the dark. And it is awfully dark. Hopefully you can see that well enough on your screen. Older versions of this game were much darker. And I'm not totally sure what I'm going to do with that iron, but I'm going to continue to collect cobblestone. I also definitely feel like tools break much sooner in this version than they do later. And this is well before the improvements to the inventory controls, so that didn't come until way too late. I think that might have been something like release 1.5, but don't quote me on that. It was sometime after 1.2.5, because I've been playing in 1.2.5 a lot recently. It's hard, if you were to ask me whether I prefer the older or newer versions of this game, I don't think I could tell you. I don't know much about any of the recent stuff. Like, I couldn't tell you about, like, the cave update, except that the world is twice as deep, which kind of blows my mind. I never thought they would do something like that, but they did. And my friend, same friend, was telling me that she thinks it's maddening. You know, she can dig and dig and dig for a long time, and there's just no end to it. It's crazy making. Which I thought, that is kind of spooky, isn't it? Can mess with you. So eventually that's going to happen to all, if I keep up this series, that is. I don't necessarily anticipate doing this for that long a time. I might, though. You know, here's hoping. I don't imagine this is going to take up that much of my time, but, you know, I started this series and I intend to continue this series. So eventually all of this, if things do continue as planned, is going to be doubled, like downwards, which is insane and really exciting. Or perhaps it would be easier to make this into my base. But maybe I prefer my original plan. Excuse me. I'm a bit sneezy. I love the autumn, as I was saying. It does make me sneeze a little bit. What is your favorite autumn activity? You can let me know in the comments. And what is your favorite version of Minecraft? I don't think I could pick one. I don't think I could pick one single version. I think I got a little sidetracked earlier when I was talking about old versus new Minecraft. There are many newer features I like. It's a bit sacrilegious, but I love the combat update. You know, I still fight in older versions as though, you know, I've got my meter under my crosshairs. Once again, I apologize about the dog. He's a little excitable. It's probably an old woman, like, crossing the street with a mobility aid. If someone's got, like, some sort of mobility aid or a bike or something, like any kind of apparatus to assist movement, he doesn't know what it is and it freaks him out. But there is a character to older Minecraft. The landscapes are just a little more surreal and a little more... Nostalgic is an odd term to use because I didn't play this game until 2013. I think I started during 1.5. I was 10 years old, and I begged and begged for about a year before I finally got my hands on it. And, you know, I wasn't particularly cognizant of Alpha Minecraft until not much later. But I say nostalgic because this is, of course, closer in time to 2013. This release is from 2010. Then, of course, 2013 is to now. But I say nostalgic because it's weirdly, and this is rather abstract, and I might sound a bit kooky for this. Oh, and it's getting light. The sun's coming up. Something about the old grass and like the old terrain and like the trees, just the colors and the shapes of everything. There's just something childlike about it. This is like the color scheme and the flatness and the simplicity with which I remember my earliest memories of walking and being in preschool. The first thoughts I've had. Because so many of my memories are just memories of me thinking. Because I've always just been a thinker, to my detriment. But those earliest thoughts I've had, when I think back to them, this is like, my environment is akin to this. It's just so simple. It's so bright. There's not really any texture to anything. So it kind of gives me that feeling. There's a reason why this game inspired so many creepypastas, and it wasn't just timing. There is a very eerie feeling to early Minecraft that I feel like was never really recreated. I don't know exactly when I would put that difference, like on a timeline, you know, when Minecraft stopped being eerie, but, you know, when I was a kid, I was pretty frightened of the monsters in this game and stuff. Not that I thought they were scary, like, on their own, or anything, like I could talk about them, but there's just so much, like, jump scare potential in this game. It's just scary to be outside at night. It's scary to hear monsters and be like, oh, I'm going to go outside, then I'm going to turn a corner. I won't be able to anticipate the creeper. But I feel like that's much... And I can play modern Minecraft and, like, not be afraid of that kind of thing. But the oldest... But, you know, if I play Alpha, or I think that there are later Infdev versions in which mob spawn is enabled, and I will be scared. Because there's a lonely feeling to this game that I don't feel like has ever been correctly replicated in later versions of this game. There's just a feeling of loneliness that I feel like was defeated. Back in the day, people were pretty upset about wolves, or, you know, a small subset of people. In my mind, the beta phase of this game is where the sort of feeling I was describing earlier, the nostalgia, starts to peel off in layers and expose something less primordial. Something with a fundamentally different emotion at its core. Of course, Beta 1.8 is the most controversial version, most likely, in the history of Minecraft. Which is, of course, basically pre-1.0. It's where we got Enderman, it's where we got the Hunger system, it's where we got a mass world gen overhaul. And it is possible, if I want to end this series early, I will stop right before beta 1.8, but as of now I don't necessarily plan on that, but it is possible. It's possible that we will eventually make our way to the current version. Because as of this version of Infdev, that is possible for me to retain this world. And thank God for that too, because in earlier versions of Infdev, before saving was possible, theoretically terrain would be infinite, yes, but the world would be small because the way chunk loading worked, as soon as you loaded a chunk, it would stay in memory. And the more you traveled, the slower it would get. And even if you had a very good computer, eventually you would run out of RAM and the game would crash and then you'd lose everything. And it wouldn't even be that much surface area. Of course, the fact that theoretically a Minecraft world can generate to about 8 times the surface level of the Earth is a well-established little fact in Minecraft myth by now. And I think that's true of this version as well. I think that bugs become present sooner in this version. I think that the area before you reach the far lands is a little bit smaller. I might start building. Apologies, I know this wasn't the most interesting thing you could watch today, but I'm grateful for your attention anyway, so thank you. as I was saying, I definitely want to avoid generating too many new chunks. This is a game I associate so much with YouTube and with Let's Plays, that when I just play by myself, my inner monologue is as though I'm recording a YouTube video. And it's a little bit maddening, you know? It's like, I just want to enjoy this game. I wish I could empty my head, but I might as well put that to use instead. Saplings used to drop like crazy. And it's either this version or the next in which saplings don't grow. But anyway, I'm going to... or both of them. But I'm going to collect all these up, because they really do drop like crazy in this version. I almost feel a little bit bad cutting down these trees. They're just such a beautiful feature of the landscape, you know. I want to respectfully use these materials. And this is close to about spawn. Sun is going back down. I suppose we should start building right about here. This isn't bad for like a first, our first like 30 minutes or so. I do think I want the main material to be cobblestone. And one thing I do appreciate about old Minecraft, you know, you could build stuff that looked like shit and it would look cool. You know, you can't just make a cobblestone box now and have it feel Minecrafty these days. At least not in my opinion. Let's put some torches down before it gets too dark to see what we're doing. There are some sound bugs, as you can hear. I don't know how to trigger them, but sometimes sounds will duplicate over each other. Was there music in this version? Theoretically. I don't know why we're not getting it. It might be a problem with the proxy. All the pretty, massive stars. Remember that Minecraft fan trailer? You know the one, like the Hans Zimmer music. I go back and I watch that sometimes, and it's always just a little less exciting than I remember. But my favorite shot in that that whole thing is the time-lapse sunset, where at the end you can see the stars start to fade into the sky. The old, massive, massive stars. Which, for the record, I find prettier than the modern, smaller ones. We're terraforming. We chose a war against nature today. Maybe I will have a wooden floor. If there was a version of Minecraft with the modern combat and without the hunger system, that would be pretty cool. There's probably mods for the newest version that remove hunger. I think every version has something like that. So if you hate that mechanic the way some people do, many of the sound effects in this game never really changed. I don't know why, like years ago by now, they had to change the aesthetics of everything. Of course, you can still use the old textures, but I remember hating that when it was a thing. But even that was ages ago. And by then I felt like a seasoned Minecraft veteran. But these days I feel like I don't know anything about the game. But it's less that I don't know anything and more that I'm just not very good at Minecraft. And the dirt walking and placing sounds used to be the same. There have been many sound updates over time, such as to the water sounds. For example, if I dive into here, sploosh. It sounds a bit like shit, doesn't it? I love it. Let's see, is this a good floor plan for a room? I say so, but I feel like we could have a little more off here. I keep breaking my shovels. I'm gonna have the cobble walls. I'm gonna have... Perhaps this area over here will have a second floor and then come out into the roof over here. This game is a lot of work, isn't it? This isn't even the most particularly, like, fun game you could be playing. There are plenty more addictive action titles for that. This is just kind of work simulator, isn't it? So it's funny that people spend so much time, like, even procrastinating with this game. Just manual labor simulator. They should call it that. Oh, I forgot to... Okay. I meant to make two. I think that's enough. I think that's enough. So, okay. not be necessary to get that corner. And this is where our walls are going to be. Sun should be coming up pretty soon. We won't have to worry about torches. Where will we put our entrance? I almost want to have our entrance come out a little, you know? I don't know what word. I don't know the architectural terms for anything. But I want to have kind of a wide entrance. Perhaps. I do one entrance that pokes out. In older versions of this game still, stacks of up to 999 were possible. And I think after that, 99 was the number. 64 is a much more pleasing number. I think anything divisible by 8. I like the number 8. Maybe it's a bit of a lucky number for me. Is it possible to make slabs yet? I think you could make, yep, just like that. We're getting some lighting bugs. That's okay. If we run out of cobblestone, then I'll get more off camera. Of course, we're going to want windows when you walk in. Should we have our windows? I definitely want to have a front window right here so you can see all of this. Maybe I want it to be tall. Maybe I want it to be a couple blocks. So I'm going to need to have a 4-block high interior. Old hurt sounds. Build up another layer. Oh, I could build into myself. How fun. Am I alright with the lack of window there? Yeah, we'll find stuff to put on the walls. I want to start off rather bare bones. Because we're going to be filling this up with stuff much later. And even in the near future. I think signs are already a feature. I don't know if you can put them on the sides of blocks yet. I don't think so. Because that was a little later. What difficulty am I on? It doesn't matter since there's no mobs anyway, I don't think. I'll change it back to peaceful for now. Just because I'd like to be able to regenerate. Oh, am I going a little too high? No. This is right. But then this will be the next floor. Right here. Part of it is just, I like to hear that sound. Ooh! Ooh! Randomly pitched around as it is. Which is also true of the new, like, bone-breaking sound, or flesh impact sound. Got a couple more stacks, and then the video will end. That's a good first episode, I think. Maybe I want to have windows in here as well. So I might have just a little more cobble. Did ladders exist at this point? Because I know that they were added a little bit later. Because Notch thought that, like, ladders are boring or something like that. I hope they do, because I'd like a more elegant way to get up to the top. Actually, you know, maybe I fancy a block staircase. Quite an inelegant solution, but it's very Minecrafty, and that's more important. We're gonna need some glass for those windows. I'll do that. I'll do all the resource gathering stuff off recording after this, and then during the next episode I'll finish my build. Perhaps the basement storehouse can be added after we get ladders, which is an early alpha, if not later Infdev. I'm not 100% on that. Can't make doors yet? That's a shame. But that's fine for now. Because nothing can really get us yet. No animals can even walk inside. You know, because, oh, eventually there's going to be a bunch of animals spawning in our house. And then there won't be, because in alpha 0.1, or no, sorry, 1.1 or something like that, or 1.0.6 or something. I was looking into this yesterday. Animals can no longer spawn on any block other than grass. That's an even number. I want to know how I want to structure everything up here. And I want to have like a layer of cobble. Oh, there we are. I'm going to light this all up. And then this will be the end of our first episode. That was a pretty good start, I think. So, I think we'll end off on this site here. Thank you for watching. This has been episode number 1 of Minecraft Generations. I hope to see you next time.